take Mikko Koivu's role. So in other words, Mikko's got 1 year left on his deal. Eric's got 2. So then put Stahl in Mikko's role. Trust me, Eric Stahl is not Mikko Koivu. He cannot play a checking role. There's just no way, nor would he want to. So if he's deep down thinking that is not going to work. He's just not a checking center. And so it'll just be, I don't know. We'll just see. It's what bothers me again about, and I think everybody knows that I don't want to stop covering Eric Stahl, but you're watching Eriksson Ek grow up into a stud in front of our eyes right now. And now all of a sudden he again next year is going to have to contend with Stahl, Koivu, and Rask. And if Bruce isn't here, say it's Dean Effison, is Dean going to sit there and say, all right, the GM is going to want me to just force feed Victor Rask into this lineup? I mean, he's going to want it. And so how does that affect Chuck's guy, Joel Eriksson Ek? Now all of a sudden you have Koivu and Stahl in front of Eriksson Ek. I just don't see the plan here. And we know Eric's not getting traded. We know they're not going to be able to trade Mikko. And we know that, if assuming Victor Rask is here, we can assume that the GM that just traded Niederreiter for him is going to want him to play. Concerns me what the heck he's thinking here.
Yeah. I think concerning is a good word. Hey, let's thank Fixology Repair, fixologyrepair.com, downtown in the Skyway, just south of the Wells Fargo Center. I walk by that place all the time, and they're very helpful, and they do repairs very quickly. They also have their big shop out of Mall of America, third floor of the Mall of America, where you can buy a lot of cool stuff, cool watches, cool accessories. And again, they do repairs. They do repairs quickly, and we've become friends with John Hedges. Look forward to having a new live venue so John can come out and have a couple of whiskeys with us while we do the show.
There are some things in life that you just can't live without. Now, whether it's a special piece of jewelry, a watch, or even your smartphone, you want it in working condition. At Fixology Repair, we are committed to restoring your pieces so that everything works or fits the way it ought to. Watch servicing, chain repair, and broken screen replacements are just a few of the services that we offer at our 2 locations, Mall of America and the Skyway in downtown Minneapolis. Please visit us at fixologyrepair.com or at fixologymn on Twitter to learn more. Mention this ad and get a 10% discount on our services.
You want to go to Twitter, or something else you want to get to first?
No. I will say if you do want to go to Europe with Anthony LaPanta and me, you have till March 10th to sign up. It's filled up with over 20 people right now. And go to definedestinations.com. And we're going to Munich. We're going to Switzerland. We're going to Austria. It's going to be an incredible trip, July 9th to the 18th. And you have till March 10th.
All righty.
By the way, we have podcast listeners going. We have a good amount of them. I shouldn't name names, but we have 8 or so people that listen to the podcast that are going. So I'm really excited, including Vicky.
Hi, Vicky. Vicky, find us a new place to do shows. From Kyle Vasperat, does Fenton realize that trades don't always have to be 1-for-1 and players he drafted or wanted to draft? I think you already covered that, but it's a good question. From Dank,
the answer is no.
Yeah, from Dank Mango, new year, focusing on optimism. What positive skills can Victor Rask provide to the team when healthy?
Well, he's a smart player, but again, this is a fast league now, and he's got to get faster. We saw in the Greenway to Rask goal that tied the game up, that sent the one game to overtime. That he does have ability, but look, he's severely injured his knee here, stepping on puck. He last summer cut his finger almost off cutting sweet potatoes. I'd like him to stay out of the kitchen this summer and maybe get with Andy Ness. That might help. So it's I don't know. That's basically it. He's got to work harder. I mean, same thing with Aberg. I mean, I'm watching Aberg the other night, and this guy's got skill, an NHL shot, but he doesn't want to work. He's exactly what he was advertised of in Anaheim. He does not want to work on the ice, and it's hard to watch. I've never seen somebody glide around like him in all 3 zones, and it just can't. And he's got another year left on his deal. He's an RFA. So, I mean, this is the other thing. It's like, I think that Paul he needs his staff at times to just say to him, like, I just hope that he doesn't overpay and overterm Aberg this summer, because right now you don't trust that, because he's got his pet projects here that he brought in here. Bittetto's another one. Like Bitetto has not been good here yet. Every time you talk to him, you'd think that Bitetto has been great. He hasn't been. The one guy that he's brought here also that we haven't talked about that I do like is Brad Hunt. I would sign him right now. You probably could sign him for a year at $800,000, and he'd probably do it. He's a good player. I don't think he's somebody you can play every night, but he's somebody that has played the right side well right now. And he is a stud on the power play. Funny thing the other night. Okay, so there are 3 minutes left. Zucker draws the power play. So I right away turned to the guy that was the Pioneer Press didn't cover the game. They hired a stringer. I turned to the stringer that's a local Winnipeg guy that I know well. And I said, oh, my God, if he throws out the Suter-Aber pair, I'm going to fall out of my seat. And he throws out the Suter-Aber pair after Hunt had just created the power play goal. And so I'm like, what are you doing? So now they have a line change after the first unit doesn't score. He puts out the second unit that has Donato and Zucker, who, again, is who I thought you should have started with. And they switch. They put out Spurgeon for Aberg. And Suter is like just not coming to the bench. And finally, with like 30 seconds left in the power play, you almost saw Boudreau and Dean Evison scream for Suter to get off. And Suter just like reluctantly comes off the ice. They throw Hunt on the ice, and 13 seconds later, Donato to Zucker score. And so I kind of asked, Bruce after the game, why didn't you start with that pair to begin with? He goes, because this is funny. He said, because my gut says they weren't going to score. So I wanted, with the extra attacker, I wanted the Donato Zucker unit with Hunt out there. So it was like he was purposely killing off the first minute, but then he needed Suter to get off the ice. Then he throws Hunt out there, and then for a minute 27 left, it actually worked out the way that he had hoped. Is that with the extra attacker out there, he'd get Hunt and Zucker and Donato and pressure. So it was just kind of interesting. To get back to my original reason for telling this story is I really like Hunt. I mean, and not just because he gave me a ride to downtown Denver when I was traded
about
here.
you.
Yeah. Just he's I remember his first game in Denver. We all like, oh my God! But we have to remember he barely played. Yep. So he was creating a lot of problems out there. And he had never practiced with his new team. And right now, you see, I mean, the guy bombs the shot. And he walks the blue line like very few wild blue liners. He just he can snap it, he could wrist it, he could hammer it. It's pretty cool to see.
Boy,
I said to him the other day too. It's amazing to me. It just shows you don't have to be a big giant guy to hammer the puck. I mean, look at Zucker. Look at Dumba. I mean, he's 5'10", 180, soaking wet. Maybe a little bigger. But Hunt is a tiny guy, and it just shows you it's all hands and arms and all that. So
core and torque. It's like golf. I mean, it's about purity of the swing, and it's about core strength and whipping it. Not necessarily muscle. From Nathan Olson, let's thank Tony Hoaglund, Hoaglund, your State Farm agent in Champlin. He handles my insurance. He handles Michael's insurance. You can communicate via his app, via phone, via email. Very responsive staff. Check out Tony, Hoaglund.
Hey, Minnesota sports fans. This is your local State Farm agent, Tony Hoaglund. I need you all to ask yourselves this question. If you're in an at-fault car accident and you are sued for $700,000, how much of that $700,000 will my current insurance company pay? If you are unsure or can't answer all $700,000, you need to give us a call. State Farm has been number one in car insurance since World War II and number one in homeowners insurance since 1964. For a no-obligation review of your current policies, call us at 763-421-4900 or check out our website at www.champlininsurance.com.
From Nathan Olson, is Zucker's future in his hands? If he finishes the year strong, will Fenton decide to keep him rather than dealing him at the draft?
Yeah, that's that. I heard Carly, his wife, said on K-Fan, and I didn't hear it, so I could be paraphrasing that. If he starts playing, then he needs to start playing like he wants to be here because she's going nowhere. So that puts a little pressure on him. yeah, I would suggest that be the way. But look, this is not a good situation. He's very upset. It is 100% accurate. I think everybody knows me that listens to this podcast and reads me for 14 years. I've been in Minnesota. No, I would never, ever, ever put out there that Jason Zucker was almost a Calgary Flame if it wasn't with 100% certainty. And as I wrote the other day, I know the trade. Now, I do feel for Fenton. Guys are almost traded or in trade talks all the time, and it never gets out. I don't know how this got out. I really don't. All I know is that I learned about it outside the organization and was able to use my sources to confirm it. I can't imagine it got outside the Minnesota front office. So, and the fact that after I heard about it, I started working with Pierre LeBrun, and Dreger was able to confirm it. My guess is it somehow either came out of Calgary or maybe Central Registry, or maybe even somehow. The one thing I'm having trouble figuring out is somehow some teammates of Zucker found out right before I even reported it. And so how did they find out is just the interesting thing. So I don't know. So I kind of feel bad for Fenton there, but Jason's upset. He committed here. He's now walking on eggshells thinking he's gone. And his agents are upset. And this is where Fenton still hasn't talked to Jason. Like, this would be my first phone call to do damage control here. And I don't get it. And I'll point something else out. Zucker's agents are pissed, and Zucker's agents represent Jared Spurgeon. So Jared Spurgeon's a free agent in a year. Fenton needs to mop this up pretty cleanly here and get in touch with the agents who I don't think have talked to him yet. At least when the last time I talked to his agents, hadn't talked to him. So there's a lot here under the scenes that Fenton's got to deal with. And I don't think Fenton's with the team the next 2 weeks. I think he's down in Florida. So, he's got to handle this. It's that simple.
Well, let me push back on that a little bit. I think, the criticisms of Fenton's deals and the way it handles press conferences, I think we hit on a lot of things that he really has to face up to. I will say, having dealt with general managers for 30, 40 years now, what if he tried to deal Zucker, which he's certainly, as part of his job is to look for good deals. If he tried to deal Zucker, what can he say at this point? Can he say, well,
yeah, no, I agree with you there. I think what he's got to do is just sit with the kid. Look, I don't know how this got out. Maybe everything that's been reported is not exactly as accurate, but look, clear your mind, play hard. Okay. Just basically handle with him with kid gloves here and try to calm the guy down, have a conversation, because right now Zucker's head is mashed potatoes. And I will say that I am impressed the way Zuck played the other night. I thought he was throwing pucks away a lot, but I think he was almost like, I'm going to work my butt off now. And that's the way to handle this.
Yes, absolutely.
But somebody at least needs to have a conversation with them and just say, look, try to, because he went from kind of sadness to, it's clear he's angry about it right now. And his agents are trying to get his head right. That's their biggest worry right now with him, because he's still here in a very awkward situation. Because again, as you said, I mean, look, it's not Fenton's, he did nothing wrong talking trade with him, and he did nothing wrong almost trading him. But the trade didn't happen usually, and that probably happened so many more times than ever knows. But somehow this thing got out. I don't know. I don't know if Calgary. I will have a better idea of this by the end of the week, because I'll be in Calgary and I'll be able to find out. Trust me. Right? I know I will. I don't know if Calgary thought that the deal was done to the point that they just started telling people. Or what? I just don't know. But I do get the impression this was, thank goodness, by the way, because I think the trade was garbage, that this was on Calgary's end where it kind of broke down. I don't know if they couldn't take his contract, if ownership wouldn't approve it, whatever. Because obviously, when I do the math, taking Frolik back would have allowed them to take on Zucker's cap hit. But, the other thing is, you look at them, they have goalie issues, and they got to re-sign Kachuk this summer, I think. So I still think they would have been awfully tight to the cap. So maybe they suddenly at the last second realized they couldn't get it done. I don't know, but it was late. That's all I know.
Interesting. Completely different subject. Carson asked, do you think the Panthers will get moved out of